Hey everyone, Danielle Fitzpatrick Clark here, and I've got another amazing speaker and contributor from the Influence Builder Christmas in July giveaway. It is Christmas in July because you guys are getting lots and lots and lots of free resources, masterclasses, trainings, blueprints, sales scripts, all the stuff that you could possibly need to build an online business. Like seriously, we brought the works for you guys. So let me see. Yes, this way. Okay. So my co-host for today is going to be, I know, right? Natalie Lavelock. She's one of my favorite people in the entire world. And she's going to give it to you straight and why you're not able to scale with just the hourly rate. Because she is a signature program development specialist. So if you guys don't know what a signature program is, boy, are you in for a treat because she's going to teach you that. And she's also an online business strategist. So she works with coaches, speakers, and health professionals who are ready to claim their place as experts in their industry and massively increase their income. And she works with her clients to move beyond the fee for service. So I just told you that hourly service, where, just it's going to go away. It's got to go away for you guys. But that's a business model. So she helps them create lucrative coaching programs, online courses, certificate programs, one of my favorite things, and professional products that can add additional streams of lucrative income to the bottom line of your business, while also giving you, the listener, the freedom to live life and to serve the people that you were called to serve.
Aha.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So we're gonna We're gonna nail you to the wall if you're doing anything that's not a signature program. No, just kidding, guys. But she is gonna tell you guys what it is and what it means today. So thank you, Natalie. And we haven't
Oh,
seen each
thank you,
other for a
Danielle.
week, and it's been too long. No, 2 weeks. It's been
It
too
has
long.
been too long. Yes, yes. And I'm so excited to be here to share with your audience. And you were just a minute ago, you were telling me about something you were sipping on.
Yeah.
You want to share that with our audience?
Oh, it's supposed to be this nice little juice that's full of antioxidants, and oh, it does not taste good. Oh, it tastes like prune juice gone wrong, and I know it's not. I think there may be prunes in it, but
Ooh,
that's what it tastes like.
fermented prune juice.
And I'm like, it tastes so bad, it must be staying in my tongue, and it's not. And I'm like, man, that makes it even worse. So,
So let's just open with that. That's the experience that 90% of people are having when they hire a coach or a consultant today online.
oh, really?
Like, oh,
Let
it,
me
it
take you
looks
guys some
so
tissue.
good and it's supposed to do all these great things, but then
Good for you. Oh my gosh, it's so
it's
bad.
awful.
Follow with some water.
Yeah.
Mm, swish it around a little bit.
Yep.
Ooh,
So,
it's got a bad aftertaste, so you can run with that.
yeah,
Really bad aftertaste.
absolutely.
Yep. Yep.
So, when you experience that in your business, I feel like we're doing some, oh, what am I trying to say?
Doing a play on words.
Yeah, yeah, no, what is it? Okay, we're gonna have to
You're
cut the
gonna use
charades
it.
here in a second.
Do some charades, like hand movements. Like, what's it start with?
It's the thing when there's two people on stage and they're going back and forth and you lead the other person and you just have to say yes and
Yes, and oh,
and go forward with it. Oh my gosh, there's so many people that are screaming right now. This is what it is.
I don't even know what it is.
Totally a blank. Anyway, so yeah, you don't want to leave your customers and your clients with that yucky taste because then they don't want to come back and be a part of your community anymore, and that's a sad deal for everybody.
Yeah, yeah, and that's
Yeah,
happening a lot. You're right. It is happening a lot, and we've seen it. We've seen a lot of even the bigger names are getting ripped right now, and it's a little bit. And I think there's a lot of reasons why. We don't have to go into all of it, but part of it is that I think it's just not transformational, right? There's a lot of
it's
stuff out there that's not transformational.
Yeah. So I think we saw this space that opened up for people to do online marketing, right? And you had people who are really great with words and can make things sound amazing. And that's paired with this philosophy of jump off the cliff and build the plane on your way down.
Yes.
So it sounds amazing to somebody else. It sounds irresistible. It sounds wonderful. I'm going to buy it. And then as the business owner on the back end, you're like scrambling to put everything together.
Yeah.
And it's just not coming together, and it's being done in a way. It's clear that it's, just being thrown together, and you're not actually getting clients consistent results.
Yeah.
They might have a little win here or a little win there. But it's not a good thought out, well laid out plan that's going to truly change somebody's life. And it's not going to, if it does work for one person, it's not going to work when you apply it to a group of people and try and scale it.
Yeah. Wow. Yes. That is happening a lot. So what I'm hearing you say is that it's from my experience, it's been the loudest. The people who are the loudest, the ones that are the best at boasting, and the ones that are the best at knowing exactly what to say, even if that's not what they are offering, are the ones that are winning or have been in the past. And it's not really
Mm-hmm.
about getting
Mm-hmm.
clients results. And we're seeing that there's a big
Mm-hmm.
shift now because clients no longer can spend the big bucks and not get the results. And they're smarter. They're
Then
looking,
they don't know who to trust,
then they don't know how
right?
to trust, so actually ruin the party for the rest of us. I'm going in. Oh, okay. Kids are like, why is she drinking that if it's that bad? It's supposed to be that good
Because
for me.
it's good for you. It's good for you.
Yeah.
Not everything that's good for you tastes sugary sweet. Not everything that's good for your business is fun and joy and
Yeah.
giggles and bubbles.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do the work.
Yeah. And okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the work, and you dig in deep. Like that's one of the things I love about you is that, and we're both like that where we get our hands dirty. We go way past the surface and dig in deeper to what's going on in someone's business. So with your expertise, which is the programs, the signature programs, you go much deeper than what most people do when it comes to creating that signature program. So what are the things that you're seeing are lacking in and we're just going to say programs right now in the
Mm-hmm.
online space?
Yeah. So a lot of things that are lacking. I see people with fragmented ideas who are just putting out their ideas into the space, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not actually moving their clients forward. It
Mm-hmm.
may be 100,000 nuggets of gold, like
Mm-hmm.
all these great things that you know and have experienced,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not really laying a pathway for someone to take this step, to take this step, to take this step, to take this step to get a result.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bunch of ideas that are fragmented, but it's not a cohesive plan for changing their life. It's not a transformational plan, is one of the things that I see. Another thing that I see is a lot of group programs
Mm-hmm.
don't have the support built into them to
Mm-hmm.
actually help people achieve their goals, whether it's accountability or just like we were talking about, getting your hands dirty, getting in there when somebody's struggling and
Mm-hmm.
saying, you know what, you, now I'm not saying totally overgive, but what I am saying is recognize when someone is struggling and throw them a lifeline.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump on a call. Let's do a quick little 30-minute call and let's get you back up here to where you need to be. Being willing to be flexible and meet your clients where they are so that they can win.
Mm. But Natalie,
Um,
if I do that for all my clients, how am I going to bring in more clients? There's no time for me to get more money in my business.
First of all, you won't have to do it for all of your clients because not all of your clients are going to need it.
Yes.
Second of all, it's going to help with your retention rate of your current clients,
Yes.
which means you're not always going to have to be enrolling the next client,
Yes.
right? If
Yep.
you can retain your current clients,
Mm-hmm.
oh, your marketing costs just came down.
Yes.
Oh, if your clients are excited, guess what? They're going to start referring people to you.
Yeah.
So now you're not having to market at all, you know?
Yeah.
And
So
maybe not at all, but what I'm saying is to get that client, the
yeah.
referral client you did not have to market to bring into your business.
Yeah. So if you guys like your numbers and you get out your nice little handy calculator on here, then we can actually come up with a cost of what it costs to retain a client versus, and if you break down the number of hours and time that you spend to retain that client versus what it's going to cost to get a new one coming in,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you'll see a big difference, meaning that you're going to spend a lot less time retaining a client by supporting them and getting them results than you are spending outwards to bring in a new one.
Yep. Yep. You know,
Probably about 3 times, if not 4 or 5 times. Yep.
yeah. And the other thing is we see a lot of copycat programs.
Mm,
I learn it today and I'm teaching it tomorrow as though I'm an expert in it. And so there's not the depth of knowledge, there's not a depth of originality
mhm,
in the program,
mhm.
um, which is another surefire way not to get your clients the results that you're promising them.
Yeah.
I know there I'm making so many people mad right now. You're probably gonna get but it's the truth, right? And the truth is important, and is what helps bring clarity and
Mhm.
light into what we do.
Yeah. So let's talk about that originality, right? We talked about copycatters and originality, and we hear original, we hear be you a lot. What does that actually look like in a program, and people, especially when people are just starting out, like I don't feel like an original, I feel like I'm still learning and these guys have it all figured out, and I feel like a fraud because I
Mhm,
don't know anything. What am I supposed to do for a program? What about
mhm,
them?
mhm. So there's a difference between being a copycat and
Mhm,
being a beginner. A
mhm,
copycat is I'm just taking other people's stuff and trying to piecemeal it together. The
mhm,
beginner is I have experience with this. I know what I'm doing. I've done it for myself. I've done it with others, but I just don't have 10,000 hours of experience. I'm not at a master's level,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
So as long as you're positioning yourself as long as you're not, as long as you're within integrity
Yes.
and you're letting people know what your capacity is, what your lane is, what your experience is, then you're within integrity with
Yeah.
your program. And that doesn't mean that you can't earn money in your business either,
Yes.
right? So it just means you have to have the right systems, the right programs in place for where you are in business. And as you gain more experience,
Mhm,
so I come from a healthcare background, and
mhm,
so my nurse's assistants at the bedside did not make the same amount of money as a nurse practitioner in the clinic, right?
mhm,
They have different levels of experience. They're both getting paid. They're
mhm,
both getting paid well for their levels of experience. Same thing for people in business, right?
mhm,
There's a continuum of learning from novice to expert,
mhm.
and you get to put together programs and products that meet both where you have the expertise to provide your clients, as
Mhm.
well as meeting what your clients need.
Yeah. So it's kind of a good rule of thumb to that you get to your expertise for your ideal clients is that you're 2 steps ahead of where they want to be, or you're 2 steps ahead
Mm-hmm.
of where they are and where they want to be. Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so how does that
And
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, as far as like the originality piece,
Mhm.
a lot of the, okay, so one thing a lot of people don't know about me is
Mhm.
that my very first year in business,
Mhm.
I came out as a life coach.
Mhm.
For me, I'm not saying other people can't do it because people are doing it every day. For
Mhm.
me, that was not a lucrative business.
Mhm.
I needed to use the skill set that I had honed for over 15 years in corporate healthcare, designing programs and products for it to be lucrative for me. However, I love personal growth and development. I love life coaching. And so I've been able to bring that into helping my clients create their signature programs, which means I go a lot deeper into who you are as a person, who God made you to be, and the gifts and the talents you have to bring to the marketplace than a lot of other coaches do. It's not just a superficial layer, like we take it deep so that you can differentiate yourself from every other life coach, every other health coach, every other business coach in the marketplace.
Yeah. And really what I'm seeing in the digital space, and I tell everyone, I'm like, I've been on this journey for a while. So I actually have a starting point of 12 years ago. And what I'm seeing right now is that it's required to go deeper. And you and I have
Mm-hmm.
talked about this. We kind of joked around. It's like, oh man, you're paying for a doctorate's degree and receiving an associate's, or geez, in most cases, a trade education. When really what you need is, if you're paying for a doctorate, is you need a doctorate's education when it comes to your
Mm-hmm.
business. So
Mm-hmm.
it's almost a requirement that we as business owners really dig in much deeper to what it is that we can do best and what we can show people how to do best. Um, in order for us to succeed, they have to succeed, and so on, because otherwise, you're not going to stay long in business in the online
Exactly.
space. Yeah.
Exactly. And even at best, most businesses have a 5 year or less. It's not really a percentage, but 5 years or less, and they're out of business, right?
Mm,
Even in the best marketplace, like even in brick and mortar business,
yeah.
if
80% is the stat.
yeah,
Crazy, yeah.
yeah. So you really, really, if you want to stay in business, whether it's brick and mortar or in the online space, you have to know your audience, you have to know your market, you have to know what you bring to the table, and you have to deliver with integrity.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love it. Okay. So,
we kind of got heavy. We started out kind of playing around and we went like, whoop. Sorry, guys.
lighten it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
deliver the
it's
truth
so
in love.
bad.
Deliver the truth in love.
Well, and you know what? People want to hear it. They don't want to be told a fantasy and then it's all great and it's all daisies and sunshines. And I think people are like, yes, come on. Seriously, what does it really look like? What does it look like behind the scenes? And, we talk about this very candidly. I won't hold anything back. It's like, yeah, it is very difficult to build a business. And
Mm-hmm.
there's an extra layer of difficulty when you're a solopreneur, when you're coming out there, you're doing it yourself. And it does take a certain amount of grit. It does. It takes a certain amount of grit. And I'm sure you may agree with this, but it is the most transformative experience that I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine having this kind of growth if I was an employee somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think for many entrepreneurs, I know for myself especially,
Hmm.
we found the glass ceiling
Yeah.
and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm suffocating. I'm running out of air because I have so much more to give. And I'm just like bouncing my head on the glass ceiling, right? Like I can't, I've got to break free. I've got to do more. Like I was made for more.
Yeah.
And in that and in finding that freedom, we
Hmm.
also get to discover our dark side. We also
Wait,
get to
we're going to
discover,
talk about the dark, shadowy side? You have to go
you
deep.
know, how do we respond when the sales don't come in when we want them
Oh,
to? How do we respond when we have a crappy program that we've purchased from somebody else? Do we blame it all on that person, or do we take accountability and look for the lessons that we've learned
yeah.
and say, this is good and I'm moving on to this?
Yeah.
What are those thoughts that run through your head every day that you know I don't know that I'm good enough for this. I don't know that I'll ever make it. What if What if this all goes down the toilet? How do you handle all those? You didn't really have to think about that as an employee. Everything was just taken care of. How many calls do I need to make today to get a sale?
Yes.
How do I talk about money? Like, I've never had to ask for money before. It's always been the check's deposited on Friday. Now I'm having to ask people for money. Like, that's weird.
Ask for my paycheck?
Right?
Like, wait.
Maybe that's how we should do it. Like,
Oh my
you
God.
should have to go to your boss every Friday and ask to get paid. That would change a lot.
It would, and it would make sense. But it is, I mean, it's that thought process, right? And I love that you pointed that out, because we, as entrepreneurs, we're working. I mean, we're not even just working 40 hours a week. Some of us are putting in 80 hours a week, more than we did when we were an employee, for sure. And we still have to have the ask, like, oh, my paycheck isn't a given at the end of every week. It's not a given at the end of every 2 weeks. I gotta put myself out there and ask for it too, and be confident with the ask and what I'm doing. So love that.
So what if the only ask you have to make is that client who comes face to face into your business, and your business is shut down? What if the government has come in, just like everything we've experienced, and said, you cannot open your doors today?
Oof.
And the only way you ask for money is from that person who walked through your door.
Yeah.
It's the reality. A lot of people are living that reality right now.
Oh my gosh. How many million are unemployed right now?
And how many million more are just hanging on by a thread?
I'd say
right?
a lot.
I don't know how things are where you're at. I live in Missouri, and so we had a period where we were shut down, and we started opening things back up because our numbers were going down. Just this last week, the numbers started going back up, so things are closing down again.
Yep, same here. And
so those people who thought they made it through it, they're like, oh my gosh, finally made it. They're facing a whole second wave of being shut down.
And I don't think the government is, I don't know what's happening, but I haven't seen another, not a bailout, but stipend or checks. There's nothing coming in. Like, this is legit. It is really scary. We live outside of Charlotte, and we're not so quarantined that we can't go out for a drive now. We went for a drive a few days ago. There's a lot of companies that didn't make it. There's a lot of stores that didn't make it. Surprisingly. And yeah, it's eye opening. It's eye opening. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's tough right now.
Which, I think it just kind of lends itself to the point that we don't live in a day and time anymore where you can have one stream of income.
Yeah.
You have to be able to have multiple streams of income, because you never know what's going to come, which way the wind's going to blow. And one of those streams of income is going to be shut off.
Yep. So this is really good. This is a really good segue, because this is your thing. This is what you do. You help people create, taking their expertise and creating a stream of income, or multiple streams of income, with signature programs and courses and certification programs. So they're not always just entrepreneurs or coaches. You work with small business owners. So what does that look like when it's, especially now? What does it look like right now? What's a good example?
So specifically, two of my most recent clients, one of them is a therapist and the other one was a chiropractor. And they both developed a signature program. So they can, I keep going off screen this way. Maybe I should scoot over.
You think you're leaning into me, but you're actually leaning away.
I know. Go the other way. Oh, there we are.
Wait, yeah, no, there we go. Oh, our heads are together.
So, anyways, they can see clients one to one, right?
Mhm,
They can see them in their brick and mortar practice if they want to, but then they have a coaching component to their business where they
mhm,
can work with people one on one. We've had the capacity to do telemedicine for as long as I can remember.
mhm,
Shortly after I became a nurse 18 years ago, we had the capacity to do telemedicine.
mhm,
So, but we can move beyond that now. We can move beyond the red tape of telemedicine and work with clients in a coaching capacity.
mhm,
So there's that opportunity there. We
mhm,
can build group coaching programs where we're working with our clients to achieve a common goal.
mhm.
And those clients benefit from everyone else who's in the group. So not only do you have a methodology that you can teach, but now you're teaching it to a group of people who can lift up and support one another through the process as well.
Yes.
Um, my chiropractor client and colleague, she then took that group program and she had a group of people.
Mhm.
Oh, maybe I'm telling too much. Because we have something where we're going to talk about this in a much deeper level. So maybe I should leave some secrets instead of telling them all.
Just Cliff notes. Cliff notes.
Cliff notes.
Cliff
Okay.
notes.
So she can work with people one to one. She can
Yes.
work with them virtually. She can work with them
Yes.
in groups. She can work with them at a higher level, building
Mhm.
businesses. Um,
Yeah.
she has not yet done an online course, but she is setting up a membership site. So that's
Mm.
creating passive income,
Yes.
you know?
Beautiful.
So just of all the things I just talked about, think about all the different streams of revenue.
Five for her. Four or five. Four, five.
Mm-hmm.
Five streams of revenue. So she does she have a brick and mortar as well?
I know that she did. I know the therapist does for sure. She has
Okay.
a brick and mortar and the
Yeah.
online component. Yes.
Yeah. So let's
Um,
talk about their results since COVID. And I mean, because everyone had to basically shut their doors. Have they expanded or they receded with your help?
so the therapist has expanded.
Yes.
She's doing excellent. She is so excited because some of the constraints that she felt because of regulations on her practice
Mm-hmm.
when she works with clients on the coaching side, which
Mm-hmm.
is different from a therapy side. She's not delivering treatment,
Mm-hmm.
she's coaching them.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have all that red tape. So she's free to use some of the things that she's learned through experiential practice. And, I always tease them, you all read the medical books and you train under the medical practice. And then about 10 years later, you realize that there were chapters missing in that book.
Yep.
And that's the beauty of what then they can bring to their coaching practices, all those pieces that were missing out of the book that they've learned and that they've seen through working with their own clients.
Yes.
So yeah,
Beautiful.
so her practices has expanded. The chiropractor, um, her launch was just as COVID was coming out,
Oh,
so she had a big expansion right before COVID hit
yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. She
she's in a pretty
expanded
good
too.
place.
She's in a good. She's all right.
She's in
She's
a good
making it.
place.
She's
Yep.
making it. So that's a really good example of how people who have brick and mortars, how they can make it through this, how they can
Hmm.
make it through COVID and stuff, which is fantastic because if a brick and mortar person can figure out who's been doing just the face to face transaction, can bring it online, that means that anyone can bring their stuff online and really build out an expertise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So now that we're getting there, we're getting past it, but I like that you're giving like a glimmer of hope. So signature programs. What is a signature program? We've kind of laughed a little bit. It's not charging hourly. It's something different. So how would you describe a signature program to somebody who doesn't know
So
anything about it?
yeah, just like you said, it's not charging hourly. Also, it's not like a 4 or 6 week program. I know a lot of people who are doing 4 and 6 week programs and they're like, oh, this is my signature program.
Yeah.
No, that's an introductory program.
Yeah.
That's 6 weeks. How much can you possibly learn about what somebody can get you
Right.
in 4 to 6 weeks? You're going to get a good taste.
Yeah.
But think about what happens when you work with them for 6 months or a year or 18 months.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So real transformation happens over the long term. As far as a signature program, the signature program takes the best of who you are, what you can do, your skill sets, the way that God made you and crafted you to be a unique being.
Mm-hmm.
And it pairs that with the tangible skills that you've learned throughout your life.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a program that sets you apart in your industry. It's the thing that you become known for.
Yeah.
Okay. Most people will start out with their signature program being, it's a lengthier, more robust, more in-depth program. Most people will start with it being a one-to-one, and then they will expand it from there. So as their capacity, they start meeting capacity for what they can deliver one-to-one, then you'll see them opening it up to a group program or something like that where they can serve more people.
Yeah. Beautiful. So if I'm hearing you right, a signature program is a lengthier program. Um, I'm just gonna put it in there. I'm assuming it's a higher ticket as well than a start. It's a higher ticket, and it's more about it's more about getting them the transformation that they need over a period of time versus a taste, and maybe just solving
Yes.
solving a
Yes.
bigger pain point too. So I love that. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
are you finding that there's a need for signature programs out there right now? Like a massive
Oh,
need?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like I said, there's a lot of copycat stuff out there, and people, I almost see it like a school of fish, right? You've got all these silvery blue fish, and they're just kind of doing all of this together, and everybody's blending together. And so what the signature program does is it doesn't just make a little pink fish in the swirling ball, but it like pulls you out. And it's like, okay, you're different, and this is how you're different, and this is why you're different.
Yeah.
And by the way, your program's actually working, and it's actually getting people results. And I actually want to bring my friends to work with you because I know how much you helped me, and I know you can help them too.
Yeah. Beautiful. So I love that because it's kind of the same idea of well, not the same idea, but it goes along with the whole idea that we when we take okay, so when we're exercising or when we're trying to make a difference in our body, what it takes 3 months to form those new habits and to start seeing the results when you're exercising and eating well. And it takes 3 weeks to get out of it. It's the same idea with like a signature programs. Like you can't expect to have huge transformations in your business in less than 3 months and get those habits formed. So you
Mm-hmm.
almost require, if you're really looking to make big shifts in your life, you need something lengthier than 3 months, and 6 months is probably a better
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
plan, if not longer to 12 months, and that's where you're going to see the huge shift. So that's what a signature
Yep.
program can deliver.
Yeah. And I think you bring out an excellent point. Like
Hmm.
in the 6 weeks,
Hmm.
I can learn the strategy.
Hmm.
I can learn the strategy.
Together. See, I know it's tough to figure out which way because it's opposite.
Oh, I can learn the strategy that's going to change my business in 6 weeks. I
Yep.
can't implement the strategy fully that's going to
Yes.
change my business in 6 weeks.
Yep.
And that's a big, big differentiator.
Yep.
So, that's something that I would encourage your audience to think about when they're
Yep.
looking at buying their next program
Yep.
is if it's short, you're going to get the strategy. If it's
Yes.
longer and granted, yes, it's more of an investment, but that
Yeah.
investment should be worth it because
Right.
you're going to learn how to actually implement and get
Right.
results.
Right. And it's kind of, if you think about it this way, is that the strategy is the logic, it's the mind, and you're connecting with the heart, the transformation. It's almost like a figure eight when you're combining the two of them and merging
Mhm.
with a signature program, which goes to the education. Like, what do you really want? Do you want just a trade education? Do you want to go for 8 weeks and you learn a new trade? Or are you in this for the long haul with your business and you want this is what you're doing. This is who you are.
Mhm.
This is ingrained in you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think something important to bring up to this is working with the mindset piece of it and the who you have to become to
Mm-hmm.
be a successful business owner. Where I really want to be careful because I don't want it to sound as negative as what it's going to come out. But it's going to come out
Just
not real nice.
hey, just say it. Just speak it. Speak your
Feel my
truth. Let's hear
heart,
it. Yes.
not just the words.
Yeah.
In our education, we
Mm-hmm.
are trained to be employees.
Yes.
We're not trained to think outside the box. We're not trained to solve problems. We're trained to learn facts.
Mm-hmm.
We're trained to learn A plus B equals C.
Yep.
But in the real world, A plus B might equal X.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
A plus B equals X. No, I want A plus B to equal C. That's where you have to learn to problem solve. Why
Yeah.
is A plus B equaling X instead of
Yeah.
C? So, and that's not something that we're taught.
Yeah.
Um, and so learning how to think, learning how to problem solve, learning how to deal with the emotional roller coaster of the
Mm-hmm.
ups and downs, you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to get that in 6 weeks. You're not going to have that consistent person beside you going,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is what we're implementing. This is what you're thinking. This is how you're feeling. And
Mm-hmm.
here's how we're going to flip that so
Mm-hmm.
that you can keep moving forward.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you stay stuck down here in the mud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to look at you and I'm going to say, yeah, that mud stinks.
Go ahead and
Come
roll
here.
around
Give
there
me
for
your
a
hand.
minute. You can roll around. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you can have a temper tantrum. I'll wait.
Yep.
It's okay. All right, you ready to come up?
Take my hand and let's get out of it. So you want really when you're looking for a coach,
Yeah,
you want someone that also has the heart of a teacher.
yeah, yeah. Beautifully said. So to reiterate, the A plus the A plus B equals X. I love that. It's so we're accustomed to. So what I'm hearing you say is that we're accustomed to. Okay, we've been given instructions, so if we follow instructions, we should get the outcome. We should get the outcome that they're saying we're going to get. And with a lot of programs, that's what they're saying, right? But if we do that
Mm-hmm.
and like A plus, like step one, step two, step three, step four, I did all the steps. Where are my outcomes? They're not here. I must be missing steps, or I must be terrible at this, or maybe I should just quit. So there's a lot of self judgment that comes to it, which ends us stuck in the mud thinking. And it's just the thinking, it's the pattern
Mm-hmm.
that we've been taught that if you follow instructions, if you do as you're told, you'll get the outcomes that we said you would get.
Ooh. That just opened a can of worms. Let's, Natalie, try not to step in that one. Let's,
It's part of
no, we're not going to step in that one.
right. Well, I mean, it's understandable. I love how you point that out for okay, so anyone who's listening to this and it's resonating with them, it could have just been a turning point. Like, oh, so it's okay. It's okay if I don't get the results if I follow all the steps. So what you're saying is that, of course, in fact, you have to think outside of the box as an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's part of the job.
Yep.
I'm freezing
Oh,
here.
you just,
I'm freezing. I hope it was a good.
okay.
I'm freezing. Um, yeah, I think that's a great truth bomb. I did tell them they were going to get truth bombs. Um, so a signature program is more than just a step by step. It's more than just strategy. It's the creation of a program that's transformational. The reason why it's transformational is that you fill the in between the steps. It's almost like the steps are 6 feet apart, and the signature program which people are creating is giving them a little stone 3 feet apart in between. Yep.
The steps are socially distant.
Okay. That's why I use 6. Did I get it?
Yeah.
Did I
And
nail
it's
it?
you know, it's all the little things that jump up into
Yeah.
that space between that 6 feet that
Yep.
threatens to bring you down. And so when
Yep.
you're spending the time and energy with your coach in the depths, they can help you navigate those, and they can help you from being pulled down.
Yeah.
And you just can't do that with shorter and more superficial
Yeah.
programs.
We're missing steps, and there's not enough steps to get to the outcome that you want.
Mm-hmm.
You need more. I love it. Oh, all right, guys. If you don't have a signature program, this is your gal. And that's not the only thing she does, because you teach people signature programs, but you also teach them courses. You teach them certification
Mm-hmm.
programs, membership programs. So you do a whole gamut of programs so that they have
Mm-hmm.
multiple streams of income. So tell us a little bit
Yep.
about I got the signature program. It's ingrained in me. I got that. Hopefully the audience, as much as we're visualizing here and creating the visual for you, what else is there for people to do?
So I will say signature programs are my all-time favorite. Next to that is the certification program, because you're taking everything that you've learned and gained over your entire lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
and you're creating a process for someone else to learn that.
Yes.
And then you're giving a stamp of approval to that person that says, bless you, go forth and multiply, right?
Yeah.
like
Teach
like
my ways.
yeah, yeah. But so one, it positions you as an authority,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have the authority to bestow on someone else a credential.
Mm-hmm.
It positions your business for potential buyout when you're
Mm-hmm.
ready to retire. You
Yeah.
know, you have more assets that
Mm-hmm.
can make your business more valuable to a potential buyer.
Mm-hmm.
But then the people that you trained, it's not that they're just coming up, they didn't just wake up this morning and decide to do this thing. They've
Mm-hmm.
actually been through a training process, and they've actually learned, and they've passed, and they've succeeded. So
Mm-hmm.
that gives them more confidence as they go out into the world to start their business, that
Yep.
yes, I may be a beginner, but
Mm-hmm.
I've been trained, and I do know what I'm talking about, and I do know how to help you.
Yes. Yes.
So
Beautiful.
the certification programs, those are like my second favorite. And then we have the online course
Yep.
and membership site. Yeah, I do those.
Mm-hmm.
The challenges, there are so many places out there like Thinkific and all those places that just make it so easy for people just to randomly throw stuff up,
Yeah.
that a lot of people think that they can just do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then they either end up running into tech issues, or their course isn't selling, or people aren't excited about the course,
Yeah.
and they end up spending a lot of time, energy, and money, and not getting the return on the investment that
Yeah.
they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we do the higher level professional courses for people as well.
Higher level, guys. I'm gonna I'm gonna bring that out a little bit, because you're right on the money when you say that, especially, and this is what I'm seeing a lot. People will launch courses and they'll hear nothing, like crickets. Doesn't matter how much market research they've done, they still hear crickets. And I know that your people, when they create courses, they don't hear crickets because it's a transformational course.
Yeah, yeah, and once again, if it doesn't actually transform somebody's life, if it doesn't make their life better,
Yeah.
it's not worth doing,
Yes.
in my opinion.
Right.
I'm kind of one of those, and I'm giving you a little insight to my dark side. If you're not going to do it right, let's just not do it.
Yes.
So My dark side is, dang it, I've done it right.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Right.
You know, I've got to engage that, think outside the box, and figure out where it got short circuited along the way. But yeah.
See,
Yep.
she's pointing out her shadows, and the reason you can't see your shadow half the time is that you're standing on top of it. So I don't know if it's half the time. Some people are like, it's not half the time, it's an hour of the day, Danielle.
But that's some of the work you have to do, right?
Yeah.
You have to be willing to do the work to figure out what's going on inside yourself,
Right.
so that you can navigate that and keep moving forward.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing that most people avoid.
Sure, because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, you guys can't get away with that in entrepreneurship. We're just going to give it to you. The truth is that you don't, you don't get to.
You mean I'm not perfect with no flaws whatsoever? Oh.
The flaws are the best part. The flaws are the best part. People love it. They
That's
love the
where the
flaws.
richness of life lies.
Well, I think we all get to give ourselves a little more grace these days and in the future. Oh, it's so bad.
You're going to have to like double fist it.
Can't get it off my tongue. I know the water's great. I probably should have watered it down, but I put ice in it thinking it's like it would work. So if you guys are just tuning in and you saw that, I have a really terrible antioxidant rich drink that I'm trying to drink during this show. It's not going well. But it's fun to watch. So Natalie, you gave us so much good stuff. I just adore you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Always a pleasure. So you have two gifts though for this giveaway. You gave us some massive tips on this live. And also, guys, she has two amazing gifts. I'm going to give her some time to go ahead and then I'll show you guys in the bottom where you can grab her gifts.
Excellent. So you want me to talk about the general one first?
Yes. So you're an Inner Circle member. So she has a general gift. Go ahead and tell them about that.
Okay. So the general gift that you're going to get is called Create Programs and Products Now. It is a package that's valued over $1,000 that you're going to get for free in this. Yeah. Hey, wait a second. I'm just envisioning this. This is like a little Tiffany's box, right? This isn't just a bag thrown under the Christmas tree. Anyways.
She didn't just give you guys like a ring out of one of those machines you put a quarter in. She gave you a Tiffany's box ring.
There you go. That's right. Tiffany's box for Tiffany's programs.
Yes.
Anywho, so what you're going to get in this is you're going to get the Expertise into Income Blueprint, which is going to show you how you can turn your expertise into income. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to get a one-on-one Profit Potential Power Hour call with me. It's a live group training. This is not pre-recorded. If you sign up for it and don't show up, I'm going to know. And I'm going to be... No.
Very sweet email. She's very, very sweet, guys.
Yes, and I try really hard never to shame anybody, but I will know if you don't show up, because I love the interaction and I love for you to get an aha moment. And so that's why I do it live. I know a lot of things are pre-recorded, but I just don't think you get the richness and the value out of it. So I put time in my schedule to do them live for you. So that's going to show you how you can use your programs and your products to make multiple streams of income for your business. Mm-hmm. And then after that, you get a one-on-one call with me, and we're going to uncover your fastest path to cash.
Nice.
So everything builds on one another, and you're going to be able to figure out, okay, this is what I need to be creating. This is how I turn it into multiple streams of income. And this is how I make money for it in my business right now.
Beautiful. And number two, your Inner Circle gift that they get.
Number two is my $200,000 signature program launch strategy mastermind, where I'm going to take you through the process of how my client made $200,000 in one weekend using her signature programs.
Do you guys hear that? So she's going to actually teach you guys in a masterclass training how her client went from $0 earned in her signature program to $200,000 earned in her program in 3 days. 3 days.
3 days.
3 days,
Yep.
guys. Now that I want to see.
Is
Yeah.
is that, I don't know, just a mere 200,000
Just
chump
even.
change? Would
Yeah.
that change anybody's life?
Yeah.
Um, Sign
Yeah.
me up. And just think, that's something you can do quarterly if you want to.
Yeah.
Quarterly.
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody, yeah, yeah, that's serious. That's
Yeah.
real money. That's life-changing money.
Yeah. And you guys can't get it unless you sign up. So that's the other thing I love about Natalie is that she gave us something fresh and new that you can't get anywhere else right now. So you have to go and sign up for the giveaway to get that masterclass training. I just love dangling that. I have just realized I have a kid's bracelet on my daughter put that on me before. All kinds of fun at the end of the day. So for you guys to get all these goodies from Natalie plus 35 more, there's more coming in too, guys. You need to go sign up at the bit.ly link below here, which is bit.ly/xmas dash in dash July. So Christmas in July is what you guys need to do. And go grab hers because they're awesome. So thank you. Any other little tidbits you want to leave us with?
Ooh, that's always such a wild card.
I know that's why I like
Tell your
doing it.
guests. What
What are
else
you
do
gonna
you want to say? What else do you want to say?
what you got?
I just
Hint, hint,
I
hint.
just want to say seriously, if you're taking the time to be part of this giveaway, if you're taking the time to invest in yourself, invest in your business, then it's apparent you're being called to something more. You're being called to take your to the next level. And so the things you sign up for, commit to using, commit to showing up, and commit to stepping fully in to your calling.
Yeah, yeah. Don't go running around scared,
People
guys.
people it, no joke. There is something that you have that somebody out there is waiting to hear from you. Like they may have heard it 10 times before and it went in one ear and out the other. They need to hear it from you. And the only way that they will hear it from you and the only way their life is going to change is if you commit to doing what you need to do to reach them.
Mhm. Well said. So go get your link, guys. Come on. Sign up. It's below there. bit.ly/xmas dash in dash July. And go grab Natalie's. I mean, seriously, this girl she brings it right in. She's got the biggest heart I've ever seen in an entrepreneur. She really cares about her clients and she really cares about anyone that enters into her circle onto her email list. She's going to take really good care of you. So, not just a nurse in profession, but a nurse at heart and a teacher at heart.
Mhm.
And take good care of you. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Miss Natalie.
Thank
Always a pleasure.
you.
Always
Yes.
a pleasure. And guys, again, you got the link, maybe, unless I hit it. Nope, not yet. But you had it. So rewatch this, rewind, grab a pen and paper, watch this again. And we will see you guys later. We'll see you in the giveaway. Bye for now.